So next step is to add view model and move data to view model. I will not create state object. I will just have variables inside of view model for simplicity. So next, a way to get information. This information, what I will use, kind of all of this coming from the Google course. Refer it first. So a Google course has a lab in it about view model, and this lab, they provide you code, starting code for word guessing game. Guess the words, they give you letters, and you're supposed to guess whatever these words out of these letters. Hard. So I couldn't guess, and I felt pissed off, so I decided to rewrite this program. So instead of it, I made another example that instead of doing kind of mixing letters, which is quite hard to guess, I made a program math trainer that is just adding, subtracting numbers instead. So a math trainer example, it is Google example for word, guess a word, because in the example, honestly, to me, it is hard to guess. So it is really hard to run this program because you challenge it in every step and you cannot really test it properly. So for this reason, I rewrote it. So instead of this example, we will look at math trainer example, which essentially rewritten Google example. Instead of guess a word, it is guess an answer, 25 plus 13, something like this, which is more straightforward. Okay, so this is Google example rewritten. So what else is here? They try to explain logic defined using view model, and I already explained it. So what do they do in this case? They created view model already. They give you code with view model in it, and they ask you to organize this data in a flow object, state flow object. So it is essentially rewriting the code in view model. No, first they give you code without view model. You have to add it. And after this, they give you another code where you have to reorganize view model. So if you feel like it goes through this lab, and it may take some time, but it is useful. It is also in the code of the course. When you go to Google course, you will find view model chapter, and it will be there. What else in this code that we want to pay attention? All code in this course are written for previous version of Android Studio about a year ago. When you create project from scratch, some of it is already drastically different. So when you compare their code to the codes what we do create from scratch, it is somewhat different, but ideas are the same. So don't be totally surprised that they have, say, code inside of a main activity is somewhat different because it was created with previous version of Android Studio. One more difference that is really looking striking, let's say, is how they organized libraries in previous versions of Android Studio about a year ago. What we have here? We have file called, this is with TipCalculator, yes. Although I wrote this example a while ago, I keep rewriting it to match current Android Studio each time. So it's not challenging in terms of comparing your code created from scratch and this. So there is a file called libs version tom.ml. In any code written about a year ago, it doesn't exist. And any code later than a year ago, this file doesn't exist. What it has? It has versions of libraries. After this, it is listing libraries in libraries section. This is how you want to refer to this library. So essentially, it's your choice, but be consistent. This file is already generated, so some libraries already included. So this is how Google did it, and it didn't add any library here. So it is what comes by default. So if you create projects from scratch, Kotlin version is 1.9. I think it's 1.9. At least it was like months ago. If it is 2 or Android Studio wants you to change to 2, it comes at the expense of including Compose compiler here as plugin. So the difference between 1.9 and 2 is Compose compiler as plugin here. So these parts, how these things are written, and essentially it's free choice. But stick to what is Google doing approximately to the same logic. What is here is not free choice. This is actually a library name. So library names go as like this. Let me find one. Add new model. Here it is. So this is a library name. It is something before column, something after column, and version node. So in the current version of Android Studio, they split it into pieces. What is before column, it's called group. What is after column, it's called name. And version number, it is this, which is variable at the top. So this is how it used to be. Now this is how it is. So if you know how it was like this, you can edit manually by creating variable at the top for version number. Then the way how you call it is really up to you. It doesn't matter. Then split what is before column, what is after column, and insert variable name here. So it is just variable name for the version number. This, how you call it, is used later how you refer this in other files. For example, you see Android-activity-compose. You go to build Gradle KTS, you will find libs Android text activity.compose. Just because it was called Android-activity-compose. If it is renamed in that, what is called tom.l file, it has to be renamed here. So mentioning library in build Gradle KTS must match how you name it in tom.l file. But how you call it there, it's your choice. But just be consistent to the way how Google calls other libraries. Okay. So when you use view model, you need to add view model library because it's not there. So one additional thing, sometimes you need to add plugin. For plugins, there is a different logic, but it is close. Plugins go on top of build Gradle KTS and build Gradle KTS on top of this. But again, how you call plugin in TOM.ml file, it is how you mention it here. But it is edit with lib dot. So in TOM.ml file, for example, those things are added automatically, and I edit this one because I switch it to Kotlin 2. Okay. So just because it is called compose-compiler, in build Gradle KTS, it's called leads plugins compose.compiler. If it is renamed there, I will have to rename it here. So this is the logic. It's hard to find this explanation in Google course because it doesn't exist there. Because at that time, Android Studio didn't do it. At that time, Android Studio has libraries written this way when they made the course. So how to deal with it? There is a brute force approach. This is what I already mentioned. You see how library is called. You can find it in documentation. Documentation is mostly not updated. Most of the documentation is still mentioning this way. So you split it into 3 pieces. This, and this. And edit those 2 files. Not 2 files. Edit TOM.ml file based on this information. And edit, 2 files. And edit, depending on the library, you may need to edit this one, or in addition, you need to edit dependency. And dependency file here refers to the name how you call it in TOM.ml file. So, yes.
If you want to take them, you should do start to take that piece up, feel it.
Yes, documentation, most of it is like that.
But to me, they just started.
This is the point where I'm doing it. Okay, so this is brute force how to do it. There is another approach which looks fancier, but it doesn't always work. How this works? For example, I need to add this library. So you need to know at least approximately how it's called. Otherwise, there's no way. So you go to File, File, Project Structure. File, Project Structure. File, Project Structure. Then you go to Modules. Dependencies. Since most of our projects do have one compilation unit, it means one module, you can have different compilation units in your program, so you can create several modules. But in simple case scenario, you have only app module. Okay, you click on app, then you add dependency. Click plus. And this is the place, cancel. App, you add this will add module. I need to click this. I need to click this one. And library dependency. And this is a place where you need to know at least approximately file score. So kind of view model, compose, and do so. And it may give you nothing. So that was bad guess. So let's do better. Like this. Okay. So copy, and paste it here. So life cycle dash view model dash compose. So if you do it approximately like just view model and search, it will give you long list. Or we can do just view model. Okay, let's try view model. So by looking for, but it does not help you much unless you know what you need. So if you click search, it will search a while because there are a lot of view model libraries. But it will be eventually in the list. So this is if you forgot how it's called, but you know it's something about your mob. So now you have to be patient because it's doing a lot, okay, of searching. Instead, if you like lose patience, you look up and copy paste. Okay. Well, you got it. And be careful because it could be more than one. So you need to be careful. So it is there is option for Android and option for desktop and one just which one? Okay, I think let's try this one. No, it is not the one. It says it discusses Android in it. So let's try this one. Okay, definitely not alpha. This looks kind of the right one, right? Yes,
How did you about what where I am been
I click on this.
that and so I even go why
You,
the you all are now as well you are all in the light is like the God the man
you click on it and nothing happens. Maybe it takes time to something to happen. And maybe it is still looking for something. No?
Jim.
Interesting. Not complete.
They tried everything all entire life. Was only do it.
Try to bosses. Yeah.
Oh, they
Okay. Here comes that. Right? So it is definitely easier if you know exact name, it will find it immediately. And then don't select alpha. And when you click OK, it will automatically insert it into the file. So this works, but not always. Especially it doesn't work if you need to include several libraries at the same time. It goes into strange state. Doesn't always do it. But it will work right now, and we can do it because I checked this on the morning today. It should work. So if you click OK, it will edit. So brute force is to split it manually, and this is fancy way. But fancy way does not necessarily work. Another way, brute force always work. Another way, it is copy pasted into the file yourself, and it will tell you it is bad format. Let me convert it automatically to new format. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So there are essentially three ways of doing it. Brute force, search in OK, it will do in this intelligent way, or do copy. So let me try cancel, and cancel. So I didn't change it. So let's see if that is working. Copy paste. This will probably work as well. So you copy paste it. I cannot guarantee it works in 100% of the cases because I saw that sometimes it doesn't. But in this case, it seems like it will. Add library dependency. So let's see. No, not. Okay, cancel. So it is in, I click it wrong piece. So it should, sometimes it tells you it's old format. Let me convert to new one. So set. No, it's not introduce local variable. So it didn't tell you in this case. So let's try to click sync, and maybe it will tell after that. Okay, let's see. Oh, here it is. After sync. After sync, it says replace with new library catalog declaration. So after sync, you see it does. Okay. So in my previous experience with experimenting with it within the year, because it's new, sometimes this magic doesn't work. Sometimes search doesn't work, but brute force always works. So what I would suggest, one of the three, and if you comfy with editing the files like manually, do brute force. As another choice is to try to copy paste and let it to do intelligence itself. And this intelligence is not always intelligent. So sometimes I try to replace it and it doesn't do it right. So after this, you go brute force and fix it. So let's see what it did. In tom.ml file, you see it added lifecycle humor.compose. This is version. If you click on OK after search, it will be the same. So if you did search and click OK, it will be the same. So it added this extra library. Where it is? It is this one. It's probably alphabetically arranged. But they did it with module. We can change. So it added with module, but you can split this module into two pieces. Module, it is these two together. See? When you add it as a library, I think it doesn't add it as a module. It will be two pieces. But so this is the same search. Inversion. Questions? So this is how to add new module library for compose. It could be added as a module, which is two pieces together, or two pieces apart. Next, after editing section for libraries, always click elephant, because if you don't, it will not work. Always elephant after changing every single libraries or changing code branches, the same. Elephant. Stop it, click elephant. Okay. Next, let's add view model objects. A view model class. Calculator, blah, blah, blah. I click on calculator package, new Kotlin class files. Okay. Kotlin class file. Let's call it calculator view model. Calculator view model. Enter that. I got it here. Add it to Git because it's new class and source code. And view model by default is extending view model. In other codes, I saw extending Android view model. Slightly different class, but I don't know if it works with compose. I know it works for other GUI, but I'm not sure about compose. In compose, I also only saw view model. So we need to import this by Alt-Enter or Option-Enter on Mac. Import class view model. We need to call parent class like this. This is why it was underlined. And move those variables here. So I will copy paste them. So first, let's make it with variables separately, not with the object and flow. And if your next step, you really need to use flow if data comes from database or from web. If it is just something calculated in your program, you can just use state variables here. So what I will do, I will go to my calculator body and I will copy this thing. But after I copy it, I don't need remember because your model is remembered. I will remove remember.
We thought, what is it?
No, it is week 3, lesson 2 start.
Why you're completely wild like it's that. What in our
Because I switched branch to start. This branch is, it exists here. If you have main, you select this and select checkout.
and like please and God
This and checkout.
what call the first bank spell? Put this in the spells in.
Okay. If you use main, you don't have this code, obviously, because in main it's finished product. I'm starting from variables and moving this into VLOOKUP. I'm starting from the code that I explained in the first half of the lesson. I explained final code with flow and VLOOKUP, and I said, okay, let's go back to code approximately the same as we typed, where variables are used with remember inside of the GUI. This branch is called lesson 2 start. Week 3, lesson 2 start. And this is where we need to add view model library, because in the previous version it did exist there. We didn't need to add that.
Then so
Yeah, it is close to how we left it at the previous lesson. It is not the same because I have a top bar, I have a...
if you can't learn
Okay. It is not the same code because this code has extra bells and whistles in terms of appearance.
back to God.
How did I get this one?
And the fact that that's gone.
I typed this yesterday at home, and I committed this. I didn't do it in class. I took in-class examples that was my TipCalculator. You see, I deleted view model in. I deleted view model. I deleted that class, so I backroll it a final version. So we will build it from it.
Do you want to delete it?
You don't need to delete it because I have version week 3 lesson 2 start. So check out this version from the branch lesson 2 view model start. But you need to add view model to this code because this intentionally has view model library removed.
One thing what I might do is it discard what should be allowed. I know it's
Oh, if you go to view model, it will be final what I it will be what I will build right now in front of you. It's a final thing. Okay. All right. So I'm here. If you go to start, you need to add library for sure. Okay, because start didn't have it. Now I will copy paste this into view model because I want them to preserve. And I don't need remember inside of the view model because view model will remember it. It's not called repeatedly. It is the same object. So copy it, and it goes to view model. Paste. Definitely remember it is wrong, so we should remove it. Remove it. Remove it. Okay. This will go into calculate function. That this gone. This gone. Please notice it is state object. It's not stateful. It's different type. And surprisingly, it still works. Somehow, due to compiler logic, that view model function is passing triggering into view model, from view model to the scan. I don't know how they accomplished this compilation. So when we call view model function as a parameter of GUI function, it will pass triggering into GUI. And perhaps for the same reason, they told us do not pass view model any further down the chain. Perhaps to avoid triggering where it's not necessary. So what Google said, when you call view model function as a parameter, do not pass view model object down to calls of other functions. Pass just data. So otherwise it's not optimal. All right. So this is prescription from Google. So it's okay to have state functions here. Somehow triggering will be passed to the GUI if you call view model function from parameter of a GUI function, but do not pass view model down the chain, just pass data. Okay. So I remove it. Remember, next, I need some function recalculate outputs, right? So let's create function recalculate outputs. Recalculate outputs. So what should we do in this function? What should we do in this function is this thing, right? And this. We need to convert string to the number. So this would be the first goes here, right? So this string will be converted into number. Next. And here I need to call this, calculate this too, right? Copy it. And it goes here. Nice. This calculate tip just needs to be imported. This tip % just need to be imported somehow. Where this is coming from? I forgot where it's coming. It's a function outside of it, right? So it is importable function. I'm copy pasting from TipCalculator, right? It's raw face. I need to copy paste it from body. This is why it is wrong. Okay, let me show. This is difference between that. I rename it function. I rename it that function and something else. So I need to copy paste it from here. Right? Copy. Paste it. I will close this one because I'm not using this anymore. My calculator. Otherwise, it will keep confusing. So here it is. Now I need to make these two pieces, keep them out, and we build total available outside so GUI can display it. So I need to make them public variables, correct? Otherwise, how GUI will display it? So I will create var for tip amount, and it is just double, not a state. And yes,
Where you get the piece of it on the you got to enter it's the wall different.
okay. As these two pieces, I'm trying to move this logic into view model. So naturally, I'm copy pasting it.
I use we use make that up it got if you pay back on you know
Which function?
the well you go back
Recalculate?
Yeah.
I made it because I need to update tip amount. So I copy pasted this three and I remove it. Remember, because there's no point of remember in your model because your model is not called repeater there. It is once object is created, it stays. It's a tip amount needs to be initialized. This is why it's unhappy. A build total also needs to be initialized. So let's initialize it to 0. In it. And this is the calculation. We need to remove val in front of tip amount to refer to this, right? Otherwise, it will be just updating local variable instead of updating this. So I remove val in front of tip amount and I remove val in front of build total. So it will update this one. For some reason, it is unhappy because I also need to remove declaration that it is double because it's just updating variable from the top. What should be fixed? This is not just visible outside, it is updatable outside. So I need to make it not updatable from outside, right? Because it belongs to your model, single source of truth. Data belonging to the object is updatable only by the object. So now it belongs to view model, so it should be updatable only from the object. So I say private set. So nobody can set it from outside. It is public get, but private set. You cannot update it from outside of the class. But you can see, but you cannot touch. Okay, you cannot update. Okay. So the same private set. Okay, the same private set. So it is visible outside, but it's not changeable from outside. Private set. Okay, and private set. Private set. Okay, set. So I have 3 state variables and 2 calculated variables. All of them visible, only some of them, and all of them updatable only with them. And just because I need to update them, I need to provide functions that do update them. But like function update service cost, it's helping me. Okay. And function, okay, good enough. Update service cost. New service cost, this is assigned and recalculated outputs. And similarly, I need to update tip whatever. Okay. Service quality. Function update service quality the same way. Artificial intelligence remembers what I typed yesterday. Yes. It is the same file. It is view model class. It will be called from GUI because I explicitly said private set. GUI cannot set it anymore. GUI only can set. So I need to create functions that set it. But when I set it, I need to recalculate outputs. So this is why I have update service quality, also service quality, new service quality, and recalculate outputs. And the last one, it is about tip. Update roundup tip, new roundup tip, recalculate tip. So the reason why it's helping me to type, because I typed this in the ebook yesterday, and Android Studio is linked to engine, artificial intelligence engine. and it remembers what I typed. So I log it in to my Google account, and this is in this way it keeps my data. So if you log in with your Android Studio into Google account, it will do the same thing here. It's not that smart. It just remembers what I typed yesterday. It's not able to figure out it on its own. Okay? So, and now I'm going to my GUI and I'm linking view model to GUI. All right? So, this is done. I will not create separate object. I just keep it as separate variables for now. Let's go to my calculator body and add extra parameter. Our modifier should be first optional parameter, and I'm adding additional optional parameter, which is view model. So I call it just view model, type calculator view model. And since it's optional, I need to assign, but not constructor call, that function. Remember, view model function. So I call view model. And now I need to be super careful which one to use, because there are many of them. I need the one that comes from Kotlin, K class, this one. Model class, K class, this. Because if I click the one which is model class, K class, if I click another one, it will do different import. So it created import, Android X lifecycle view model compose this one. So you either copy paste import yourself from another project, or remember which one to click at, because otherwise it will be wrong import and it will not work right. It will not compile. So I selected the one which was K class, Kotlin class, and it added this import. Now I got view model. So, and this is parameter, so I don't need this thing because it's inside of view model. But somehow I need to use those pieces, right? Okay. I can delete it. I can delete it because everything what I see here is already copied into the model. So I delete. So roundup tip is coming from view model dot roundup tip. Assignment also goes to node. You cannot assign. Remember private set. You cannot do that. But there is a function in view model and update roundup tip, right? So you can do view model and update roundup tip. And just because it's a function in view model, it's a function, it's a it is method, right? And this is conversion from method to lambda function. Yes?
I agree with the
When I type it view model, it gives me drop-down list. In the drop-down list, you have to select the right one. And the right one with K class in it. Or you just have to copy-paste this thing, another choice. Because if you select the random one, it will be wrong one. Unless you're lucky. And I definitely don't need this import, so I delete it. So this service calls also coming from view model, so it is a view model dot service calls. This supposed to update view model data, right? So it is view model update service calls, right? So this is view model update service calls. So I converted function means method of view model into lambda function that is matching it. And I repeat this too the same way. This is view model service quality. This is view model update service quality. View model update service quality. This is view model tip amount. And this is view model bill total. Okay. When this function is called, I don't provide view model because it's using default parameter. So in the place where I call this calculator body, it is in app root scale, I believe. Let's see. I don't provide view model because it's using view model by default parameter. So if I did it right, it should. So let's delete this tons of imports that are gray. Gray was not missed. Okay. And click on. So it should work. So obviously I didn't touch other examples and we need to wrap it up. And the idea was at least to start view model this at currently because it's potentially complicated. Same. I already introduced it stateful, and in the next lesson we will work more with stateful. So this is how to deal with view model without stateful. It also works just fine. Okay. So here it is. 23. You see it is passing data to view model and it's coming back. Questions? So I will put this example on hold. I will not progress it through creating state class because already have shown that it works and it's possible to do. And the reason is that I want to modify it to add settings. That when I add settings, view model will become more complicated. So there's no point of explaining one thing and after this another thing. So this example will be left on hold till the time when we use settings, when we learn how to use settings. Yes?
Sorry, I think that's the mine. I tried to manually write it here so it's still not coming up. It's right there.
And I don't give me. Well, yeah, this is not a good one. It's so cool. So let's see. Oh. There is also extra view model here. Android text lifecycle view model compose another view model. Yeah?
You put your class, A class. So there's no auto compose.
You see my father? No. So okay, let's turn. I will have to delete the broken one. Otherwise it will not pursue. Instead. Strange. Okay, let's.
I think I did it right. But this is a little bit of this wide area. Pretty sure what.
What is system? Maybe it's already twice. Let's find. Why do you have view model factory? Don't do it. This is extra inputs.
They might just tell you to auto be pretty hard.
This is probably the way.
You was talking.
Because
Anything. Please. And Spain. That the TV pit when the surround you need to driving but
14.
present year so they uh and that's after let's say it's really fun. But all the remains fun and good about it. But you was supposed
Any
to get out of war.
show is bullshit.
Yeah.
So I wrote this. We see that.
Then figure it out. They
That's all happy here.
first us. So it's the needs what about should have always called it don't talk. Come
It's so happy here. So
Trumpy 30 follow the video.
what are this thing?
What's the cost like 6 of your
Get out.
change the one yet.
This is broken code. This is why it cannot understand this there. So it's kind of issue from this file propagated outside. So let's go to calculator body. Let's shoot
United.
Australia.
Please, let us look up. You got legal key all day to buy everything. They really cool. They better.
It doesn't do it. So let's believe that this is correct. That's probably correct.
I'm not sure you all was I could they share it on you they will celebrating cheap but I shouldn't wait so I should go still sure you what we thing the key thing I had to do fire but it go no he's one probably through the one her so it's top this some out there and after that. And it's so old and the woman to
That's this becomes a library. This way. It cannot.
those are that.
No, I don't know. This is why it doesn't drop. It doesn't have the library. It cannot claim because it doesn't know about it.
This one, this not guy.
Yeah.
And then,
Oh, yeah, okay.
besides of that, but it's an even tiny thing. Yeah, do I have to apply for this?
Oh, it's great. Okay, this over. Yeah, I did. That's here. And now it says it here. So,
For the back to your
please, beautiful. Synchronize.
I'm sure the plug, yeah. Yeah, they're all right.
Now it's resolved. Cool. Now it's found it. Easy. Maybe this is type of somewhere.
Yes,
Maybe this type of means it.
we like a network going. I thought, yeah. And it's saying, you send the site, cheaper introducing it, and then you apply to
If I'm going to change moments.
Oh, I need to do this.
How
do we talk to it?
Yeah, okay. So I will open it. It is this one.
No.
It's Boolean out and you have strings. This is why it's sort. Going to stop it.